Well, hello viewers. This is the desktop review of the FN57 LE Mark II. So let's go ahead and get started. First of all, the pistol comes in this rather large case from FN. It's basically a suitcase size, but it is a nice case. Let's go ahead and get it open. So for those of you who are not familiar, the FN57 is the pistol version of FN's 5.7 by 28 cartridge firearm. There's basically the PS90 and the P90 series submachine gun, and then the sidearm that went with it was the FN57. When you do purchase the gun, comes in this nice box. Comes with 3 magazines, the usual lock and paperwork, spent cartridge, all that good stuff. So let's go ahead and take the gun out and we'll get started. First things first, the weapon is clear and the magazine is empty. So a little bit of history about the FN57. The 5.7 cartridge was FN Herstal's answer to the NATO requirement of a high performance round to replace the 9mm Parabellum that was then the NATO standard. And that's the 5.7 by 28 cartridge right there. This right here is the 9mm cartridge. So it gives you kind of an idea of the difference. And just for scale, this is a 223 cartridge. You'll notice that the 5.7 cartridge and the 223 share a lot in common as far as profile and bullet size. So a little bit about the 5.7. 5.7 was designed to be small and lightweight, carry a lot of ammunition, fired out of a relatively lightweight firearm. There were weight requirements when NATO put out its recommendations for the gun, or the requirements for the gun. It had to have a minimum of a 20-round capacity magazine, which this particular firearm does. So holds 20 rounds of 5.7 ammo. The gun is extremely lightweight. This gun weighs exactly 1 ounce more than a Glock 26 does, both loaded and unloaded. So put that in perspective. This is a large, full-size combat handgun, but it feels like almost, in some ways, like a toy. When you pick up the box with the gun in it, the box feels empty. So let's go over the gun from muzzle to tip, and we'll talk a little bit about the different models and what to look for. So this is the latest generation of the FN57. It's called the Mark II. There are basically 3 generations of the 5.7 pistol. Mechanically, they're almost identical. The way you can tell the difference is the very first version had a rounded trigger guard, and it had a rounded trigger guard, and it had no safety. It was a double action only pistol, and it had no mechanical safety on it. The second generation pistol, which was the first that was imported here in the United States, which was called the IOM, or Individual Officer's Model, looked very similar to this, had the same trigger profile, had the same 1913 Picatinny rail. The biggest way you can tell the difference is it's going to have gray controls, and it's not going to have the forward cocking serrations. There are some internal differences, but we'll go over those in just a little bit. And then this is the current version. This is the latest version. This version came out in about 2013, and this particular version is identifiable by the cocking serrations on the slide, all black controls. There is a significant difference with the slide. And basically the original version, let me see if I can show this to you. So the slide on this pistol, although it looks polymer, as you can see, looks polymer, but if you look here in the mag well, you can see that it's actually polymer that's overlaid, laid over a metal slide. There's a metal slide underneath it. The original version, this metal piece was actually a two pieces of metal that are welded together. This current version is a single piece of steel underneath there, and the gun overall, the profile is slightly wider than the last generations. So it is slightly different. It will not fit, or it will fit extremely snugly in the first generation holster. So be aware of that if you're buying one of these and you have an old FN57 holster. It will not fit, or it'll fit very snugly. All right, so let's go over the gun from muzzle to tip. So first and foremost, it is a little weird when you look at this gun from the muzzle because of the tiny little muzzle. You're used to seeing, 9mm 40 cal 45 with a big old muzzle. This one is very small. The gun is equipped with a 1913 Picatinny rail that holds most light and laser accessories. I will tell you, my Surefire light on this gun is loose when you put it on, but I use this Streamlight TLR1, and it fits on there nicely, and aesthetically I think it looks pretty good on there. The gun actually looks like it's got a bit of a no chin going on when you don't have the light on there. Really nice sights on this gun. There's actually two different sights available. These are the adjustable target sights, and then there's a set of low profile. There's also a set of low profile night sights that are available for this gun. I will tell you that the sights don't come on and off very easily. You are going to have a gunsmith install them if you want. They are nice and tall, so you can run a suppressor with it. Although the FN57 does not suppress well, so I don't really know why you would want to do that. But they are very accurate, and they are adjustable, as you can see here. Plenty of for both elevation and windage. All right. So from there, let's go into the controls. First thing first, you have the takedown lever here. The gun breaks down very simply. You have an ambidextrous safety right here, and then you have the slide stop or slide release. You also have the magazine release button right here, and that is reversible. It can be reversed. It is not ambidextrous, but you can reverse the button. Very nice trigger pull on this gun. It's kind of an interesting. Trigger. It's pretty clean for a polymer gun. It's a very light. It's probably about a 5-pound pull on this particular gun. This version of the gun is considered single action, which is why it has the manual safety. And I will tell you, the position of the safety is a little unique. You would expect it to be a thumb operated safety, but on this one it's actually operated with your forefinger, and it's actually in a fairly good location if you get used to it. But again, manipulating it just takes some practice and some training. The pistol grip on here is quite nice. It is a little bit thick for smaller handed users, and although it looks like it, this is not a replaceable backstrap. That is integral to the gun. Gun comes with a 20-round magazine. There is also a 30-round magazine available. It's got an extended floor plate on there. Magazine fits into the gun very nicely. Everything very positive. It drops free with great authority when you manipulate it. The pistol has an internal hammer, so it's very, very snag free. Although it's a very large pistol for concealed carry, but I suppose you can do it. I've seen guys carry bigger. But what with the tall sights and sort of the overall size, I think it would probably be a bit of a challenge to carry it concealed. Now, a couple things about this. A lot of people have said, I've heard a lot of talk that, hey, this thing is like a .22 Magnum. Well, ballistically, the 5.7 is not. Ballistically, it's similar. There are some similarities to a .22 Magnum, but The terminal performance of a 5.7, depending on what grain the bullet is significantly better than a 22 Magnum. This gun obviously caused a lot of controversy because you can fire armor-piercing bullets out of it if you were able to get it. There is an AP version of the 5.7 cartridge that's sold to military and law enforcement only, and I haven't been able to see any in quite some time. The cost of 5.7 ammunition has come way down from where it originally was, so that's a very positive thing. This is a cold hammer forged chrome lined barrel. One of the neat things about it is the barrel doesn't cant. It's a straight feed mechanism, so it is very reliable when it comes to feed from the bullets. So the magazine basically lines up directly with the barrel. The barrel does not change angle when you're manipulating it. And round enters and exits the breech very cleanly. Recoil on this gun is extremely light. So this gun was designed, the 5.7 round actually has about 2/3 of the recoil that a 9mm pistol does. So when you shoot this gun, it's really quite neat. It has a very low recoil. It is also extremely accurate. Keep in mind that this round was designed to be shot out of a personal defense weapon, a PDW, and so it has, in many ways, it has the ballistics of a rifle round. So when you're shooting this, very accurate at 25 meters. It's accurate out at 50 meters even. And so for a pistol round, it's pretty significant. Very cool gun, kind of a niche gun for a lot of people. I enjoy it. I think it's a really neat piece of technology, and it's a fun shooting gun. Now that the 5.7 ammunition has kind of come down, or at least stabilized in price, I think it's really great. I've got this particular pistol in combination with my PS90, just to have the true set of pistols. Is kind of neat. Couple of neat things. This pistol is used by several militaries around the world and police forces around the world. This particular gun, this particular sidearm, was developed as sort of an officer sidearm for rear echelon troops originally, so they could have a ballistically a very powerful round, but in a very small package. So if you're a vehicle driver or whatever, and obviously this has been a hotly contested gun by people that are opposed to or gun control advocates, because they've contended that this gun is somehow more lethal or whatever. I guess the big argument has been its ability to utilize armor-piercing ammunition, even though you can't get that ammunition, at least as a civilian, here in the United States. So anyway, please don't forget, if you like it, give me a thumbs up on the video. If you have any questions or comments, I welcome them. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We've got other videos on their way. Thanks so much for your time. We'll talk to you next time.